My name is Sarah, and I've been a housekeeper for as long as I can remember. It's a job that brings me into the lives of all sorts of people, but none quite like the Owens family. They lived in a mansion that sprawled across acres, a testament to Mr. Owens's success in real estate. But for all their wealth, there was a quiet sorrow that hung in the air, a shadow cast by their daughter, Lily. Lily was 7 years old, and she was blind. I remember the first time I saw her. She was a delicate thing, with hair the color of spun gold and eyes that, despite their inability to see, held a profound beauty. Her world was one of touch and sound, of the familiar pathways of their grand home, navigated with an almost eerie grace. Mrs. Owens, a woman who usually carried herself with an air of sophisticated detachment, softened visibly whenever Lily was near. Mr. Owens, a man whose booming voice could command boardrooms, would lower it to a gentle murmur when speaking to his daughter. I was hired shortly after their previous housekeeper left, an older woman who had been with them for years. Mrs. Owens was particular, to say the least. She interviewed me 3 times, scrutinizing my references, my experience, even my temperament. I understood why. Lily's care was paramount. My duties were comprehensive, cleaning, organizing, and helping with the general upkeep of such a large estate. But it was Lily who truly captured my attention. I'd seen many children in my line of work, some spoiled, some neglected, but Lily was different. She was incredibly intelligent, her mind sharp and curious, always asking questions, always trying to understand the world she couldn't see. One afternoon, I found her in the sunroom, her small fingers tracing the leaves of a large fern. "What color is this, Sarah?" she asked, her voice soft. "It's a deep green, Lily," I replied, sitting beside her. "Like the forest after it rains." She smiled. "I imagine it's very peaceful." Those early weeks were a slow dance of adjustment. I learned Lily's routine, her favorite stories, the way she liked her sandwiches cut. I saw the endless stream of specialists, the doctors who would come and go, their faces etched with a familiar mixture of sympathy and a hint of resignation. They'd tried everything, it seemed, surgeries, experimental treatments, even trips to renowned clinics abroad. Nothing had worked. Lily's blindness was, they concluded, permanent. A cruel hand of fate. The Owenses loved Lily fiercely, there was no doubt. But I also sensed a profound exhaustion in them, a weariness from years of hope dashed against the rocks of reality. They had accepted her condition, not without pain, but with a quiet dignity. My predecessor, Maria, had been with the family for many years. Mrs. Owens often spoke of her with a strange mix of fondness and a touch of something else I couldn't quite place. Perhaps a hint of frustration? "Maria was wonderful with Lily," she'd say, "but she had her quirks." I didn't press for details. One day, while cleaning Lily's playroom, I noticed something odd. Tucked away in a corner, behind a stack of forgotten board games, was a small, crudely carved wooden bird. It looked out of place amongst the expensive, meticulously chosen toys. It had a rough, almost primitive feel to it. I picked it up. "That was Maria's," Lily said, startling me. She had entered the room so quietly. "She made it for me." "It's lovely," I said, turning it over in my hand. "Did she make a lot of things?" Lily nodded. "She was always carving." She said it helped her think. As the weeks turned into months, I grew closer to Lily. She would often seek me out, her small hand finding mine. We'd talk for hours about anything and everything. I described the world to her, The vibrant colors of the flowers in the garden, the fluffy clouds drifting across the sky, the intricate patterns of the antique Persian rugs. She absorbed it all, creating her own vivid mental images. One evening, Mrs. Owens was out at a charity gala, and Mr. Owens was away on a business trip. It was just Lily and me. We were in the living room, listening to an audiobook. Suddenly, there was a loud crash from the kitchen. My heart leaped. I'd accidentally left a window open, and a strong gust of wind had knocked over a potted plant. "What was that?" Lily asked, her voice a little shaky. "Just me being clumsy, sweetheart," I reassured her, though my mind was racing. I knew the kitchen was a bit of a mess, and I didn't want her to stumble. I walked to the kitchen, carefully navigating the broken pieces of the ceramic pot and the scattered soil. As I was cleaning it up, I heard a small whimper from the living room. "Sarah, are you okay?" "I'm fine, Lily." "Just a little mess," I called back. Then I heard something else. A faint scraping sound, followed by a soft thud. I rushed back to the living room. Lily was on the floor, next to a small, ornate wooden box that had been on a low table. It had fallen open, spilling its contents. "Oh, Lily, are you hurt?" I knelt beside her. "No," she whispered, her hands already reaching out, exploring the fallen items. "What's this?" She held up a small, velvet-lined box. Inside were several vials of clear liquid and a handful of small, smooth, dark stones. They looked almost like polished river rocks. But there was something else in the box. A small, intricately carved wooden figure of a bird, very similar to the one I'd seen in her playroom, but this one was much more detailed, its wings spread as if in flight. "These are Maria's," Lily said, her fingers tracing the bird's delicate features. "She kept them in here. She said they were her special treasures." I picked up one of the vials. It looked like a very small bottle, perhaps for essential oils. The liquid inside was crystal clear, almost like water, but it had a faint, earthy smell. And the stones, they were smooth and cool to the touch. A strange feeling washed over me, a tiny spark of curiosity, like a forgotten memory trying to surface. "Did Maria ever use these for anything, Lily?" Lily paused, her brow furrowed in thought. "She used to put drops on my eyes sometimes," she said slowly. "After I went to bed. She said it was special water to help me sleep better." My breath hitched. "She put drops in your eyes?" "Yes." "And she would hold the stones over my forehead. She said they had healing energy." Lily sounded a little embarrassed, as if recalling childish fantasies. A chill ran down my spine. Maria. Her quirks. The way Mrs. Owens had spoken of her. My mind started piecing together fragments, tiny bits of information that suddenly seemed to click into place. I remembered Mrs. Owens mentioning Maria had a strong belief in natural remedies and ancient practices. At the time, I dismissed it as harmless eccentricity. But putting drops in a child's eyes without parental knowledge, that was something else entirely. I picked up one of the dark stones. It wasn't just smooth, it felt dense. And when I held it closer, I saw a faint, almost imperceptible shimmer in its surface. "Lily," I said, my voice barely a whisper, "did you ever feel anything when Maria put the drops in your eyes?" She hesitated. "Sometimes. It felt a little warm. And once, just for a second, it was like I saw a flicker of light. But then it was gone." My heart pounded. Could it be? Was it possible? I carefully gathered the vials and the stones. I knew I couldn't accuse Maria without proof, but I also couldn't ignore this. Lily's vision was at stake. The next morning, I took one of the vials and a stone. I didn't tell Mrs. Owens yet. I needed to understand more. I discreetly researched the properties of certain minerals and ancient remedies. What I found was unsettling. Some natural remedies could, in fact, be harmful or at the very least, interfere with medical treatments. But others spoke of highly specialized, sometimes dangerous, substances. I called a trusted friend, a nurse, and explained the situation, carefully omitting names and specific details, framing it as a hypothetical. She advised me to have the liquid analyzed immediately. It took a few tense days. I made an excuse to run errands in the city, taking the vial with me. The lab technician, a stern woman, looked at me with a mixture of curiosity and concern. When the results came back, my hand trembled as I opened the envelope. The liquid in the vial was not special water. It contained a potent, highly concentrated form of a specific plant extract, known in some ancient medicinal practices for its alleged ability to induce temporary, localized light sensitivity and pupil dilation. More alarmingly, the dark stones were not just river rocks. They contained trace amounts of a mild, naturally occurring sedative. The implication hit me like a physical blow. Maria wasn't trying to heal Lily. She was actively maintaining her blindness. I raced back to the Owens' mansion, my mind reeling. My hands were shaking as I presented the findings to Mr. and Mrs. Owens. They listened, their faces slowly draining of color, their expressions shifting from polite interest to horrified disbelief. Mrs. Owens picked up the lab report, her fingers tracing the words as if she couldn't quite comprehend them. Maria, why would she do something like this? Mr. Owens, usually so composed, looked utterly devastated. She was a part of our family for years. We trusted her with our daughter. The next few days were a blur of police investigations, frantic calls, and a profound sense of betrayal that permeated the entire household. It turned out Maria had a history of what she called alternative healing, but more accurately, a history of medical fraud and a deeply disturbed belief system that she alone held the key to true health. Her motive, when it slowly emerged, was chillingly simple. She had convinced herself that modern medicine was corrupt, and that she was protecting Lily from it, preserving her purity by keeping her in the state she believed was natural. She had developed a sick sense of possessiveness over Lily, seeing herself as the child's true guardian, and had used the treatments to subtly manipulate Lily's perception and prevent her from ever truly seeing. The doctors, who had been baffled by Lily's persistent blindness despite everything they had tried, were now cautiously optimistic. The prolonged use of the extract had indeed caused pupil constriction and light sensitivity, mimicking congenital blindness. With the cessation of Maria's treatments, and under careful medical supervision, there was a chance, a real chance, that Lily's eyes could begin to respond. The day they removed the special patches the doctors had placed on Lily's eyes to gently reintroduce her to light, I stood by her bedside, my heart pounding a rhythm against my ribs. Mrs. Owens held Lily's hand, her face a mask of anxious hope. Mr. Owens stood a little further back, his shoulders tense. Dr. Chen, a kind ophthalmologist, gently peeled away the last patch. Lily blinked, her golden eyelashes fluttering. She squinted, her little face scrunched up. Then, slowly, her eyes widened. "Mama," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Her gaze, though still a little unfocused, was directed at Mrs. Owens's face. Mrs. Owens sobbed, a sound of pure relief and joy. "Yes, my love. I'm here." Lily's eyes darted around the room, taking in the soft light, the colors, the shapes. Her gaze finally landed on me. "Sarah," she said, her voice filled with wonder. She was seeing me. She was seeing. I couldn't speak. Tears streamed down my face, hot and fast. It was a miracle, a cruel deception undone, a life reborn. The journey was long. Lily needed extensive therapy, her eyes slowly adjusting to the world of light and color she had been denied. But every day there was progress. Every day, a new discovery. The joy on her face when she saw the vibrant reds and yellows of the roses in the garden for the first time was something I will never forget. "It's like a dream, Sarah," she told me one afternoon, her small fingers tracing the petals of a daisy, her eyes now wide and bright. "Everything is so beautiful." I knelt beside her, my heart overflowing. "It is, sweetheart. It truly is." My role in the Owens household changed. I wasn't just a housekeeper anymore. I was a friend, a confidant, a part of Lily's new world. The quiet sorrow that had once shadowed their home had lifted, replaced by a radiant joy. The grand mansion now felt alive, filled with laughter and the wonder of a child experiencing the world through new eyes. The story of Maria was a dark chapter, a reminder of the twisted ways human minds can work. But it was also a testament to the resilience of hope and the profound power of uncovering the truth. Lily, once believed to be permanently blind, was now seeing the world, one breathtaking color at a time. And I, Sarah, the simple housekeeper, was there to witness her miracle. One afternoon, Lily came to me, holding a brightly colored picture she had drawn, a vivid depiction of a rainbow. "Look, Sarah," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. "I made this for you." I took the drawing, my eyes welling up. It wasn't just a drawing, it was a testament to the light she now saw, both inside and out. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, truth has a way of shining through, bringing with it the most extraordinary and unexpected of miracles.